Yo, what up? We back. It's video edition this time, bitches.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
it's weird because I don't see you. I only see the little
The icon.
OBS symbol. So, I'm gonna be, forgetting that I'm on camera, and I might be talking and kind yeah,
Yeah,
totally, man.
it's gonna be a little different. I have to set up my other camera for the actual recording part of this, but until then, this is gonna be the way that we do it for a little while.
For sure. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You gotta get knock off some of those, jittas and all that good stuff. So it'll be fun. Welcome to the Snooze Cast. This is the first video edition, and this is officially season 3. I know when I put out the episodes, I just have them, 30 and above, and still numbering them that way. But just kind of, it's a good milestone because the second season, the milestone was proper recording equipment. Now this milestone is video recording.
Yeah.
More like capabilities because we're using the same equipment, but just from a software standpoint, just doing more.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna keep it going and find other ways to make it better. But again, be a couple. I don't know how many. We'll know when we know.
By like
But,
season 10, we'll be in a professional studio, Joe Rogan
Yeah.
style.
Dude, Spotify better give me my money or I'm gonna come after them.
Man. Nah, what have you been up to this weekend?
This past weekend, I slept like a baby, and the interesting thing is, it was the first time that I had any high volume of caffeine of any kind, actually, in a long time. And for me, a long time is like 2 to 3 weeks. For some
Right.
people, it's like, what? You psycho. It's like, well, when you have ADHD, you kind of just consume a lot of caffeine, and it doesn't hype you up. It just kind of sets you even. But no, I was, I was kind of feeling like, man, I feel like I'm drinking a little too much. I feel like I'm, getting a little methy with it, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just
Yeah,
stopped.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Now, as people know that do drink high dose, high volumes of caffeine regularly, they know that if you were just to stop, your brain's like, what are you doing?
You can get withdrawals pretty hard, yeah.
Well, the worst. Well, I don't know about the worst, but like the most common thing is headache. My head. I'm not gonna lie, it was pounding.
I got
It was like,
headache.
what are you doing to me? And I'm like, fuck you. I do what I want.
I got headache, and I also got a little bit of nausea all the time, and a lot of
A little bit of nausea from
lot of
Fast and Furious.
lightheadedness, just being constantly tired all the time. Because it's just your body just like craving the drug, it's just like, oh, I needed to wake up, oh, I needed to, function normally, and so I got a little bit of that too. I've been cutting back too. I only have I'll have either a cup of coffee or I'll drink one set of G Fuel, and that's really it for me for the day. And because I used to drink it before bed, like 2 cups of coffee before bed just to fall asleep, but now I'm just like, I should probably stop.
Yeah, dude, I was pounding lots of sugar-free monsters, and although it's
I'm at least sugar free. Still has
it
artificial
is
sweetener.
right. But the thing is, it's just so much caffeine. Each
Yeah.
can's 300 milligrams, so
Yeah.
that's just like pounding a lot of those. I'm not going to get into detail of how many or
Oh, fucking
I mean-
carton. 4 at a time.
no.
Not that bad.
I don't. I have never exceeded more than 2 cans on any given day. Like the most, like if I have a second one, that means like, all right, we're definitely done here. But yeah, that's still like a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, that's
and then
that's about 6 cups of coffee, which is where I would have like,
But then
half of that in the
every
morning.
day.
yeah, about
That's
every
it.
day. I could go through 2 pots of coffee a day. It's crazy.
Okay, cool. Well, for some reason, dude, someone at work, someone I work with, just noticed that I drink them a lot, and like because the only time he were to see them is at work, so of course it seems that way, and also it just is that way. It looks like it's not as bad as it looks. No, but like
instead of
it is
having fucking beer on one of those hats, the drinking hats, you have fucking two monsters coming into you.
Dude, if someone bought me that for Christmas, just like, man, it'd be great. Anyway, so so he's just like, oh wow, like another one, like man, you're gonna have a heart attack, and I was like, well,
kind of hope so. I mean,
nah, dude, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Now there are some times when I'm. Oh, speaking of close calls, so today I'm driving home from work, and green light means go, and on the opposite side where there's a fire truck that's coming, like there's a divider like in the middle, like that's like clearly like two ways.
Yeah.
So I'm like, green light, go, and I drive, and I notice I'm the only one that went forward, and then like a couple seconds later, like a full 2 seconds, so a pretty good amount of time in real time anyway. I see this big fire truck turn, like, oh, he's turning. I was like, whoops, didn't see that. Like it wasn't anywhere close to hitting me, but the fact that like I just went and didn't like notice that he was turning, I was like, oh, whoopsie.
Did he have his lights on and everything?
Oh yeah, it was totally like I just thought he was going the other way. I was just like, he's
That's the thing, yeah, with those fire trucks when you're at an intersection, or even with cop cars and stuff like this, you don't know which direction they're going.
Yeah, like I mean, I know that you're supposed to like slow down and kind of pull over pretty much, but like
if they're coming from your direction, yeah.
Right. But like he was on the other side, and like I just that situation I just had never encountered before. So, and also like I was kind of like I had a podcast going in the background, so I was kind of just like
distracted.
I mean,
well, not distracted because then you would be incriminating autopilot. Yourself.
Well, no, it's just autopilot. Yeah. Like
but you don't have a Tesla.
Going. Correct. I am the Tesla.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I am the Tesla autopilot.
Speaking of Tesla and cars and all that stuff, news. Not really news at this point because it's been a week.
Yeah.
But new number one, new big dog in terms of richest person in the world.
Elon Musk.
Joe Rogan.
Finally got his Spotify contract payment. Woo!
Yeah. You got those Spotify shekels.
The big bad boy Elon Musk. So now everyone's gonna hate Elon for being number one, and everyone's gonna cool off of Jeff Bezos for being number one.
Jeff Bezos is of the two is the one with skeletons in his closet. I feel.
I think when it comes to like actual net worth, because really when it comes to like who's the richest man in the world, it's based on like company valuation and stock price, which is how a CEO's pay is calculated. And so on that basis, Elon Musk is the richest. But I think when it comes to like actual account holdings, I think Jeff Bezos probably has a one-up on Elon. Elon spends a lot of his money.
Good. I mean,
yeah. But I feel like Jeff is still technically number one if we're going to look at like possible like actual count, valuations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, pretend I'm a financial wizard, but they're both rich as fuck. It's pretty close, so I just wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, just because it is so narrow. I mean, well, billions obviously doesn't, it's kind of crazy to think that that's narrow, but like with how fast they make money and how just the sheer, unimaginable numbers that they're throwing out, it's kind of like, well, they're not that far behind.
Oh man, if you think that's unimaginable, just wait until you understand how much money the governments throw around. Just that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, we won't even into that because then we're gonna get into just roasting how we're gonna spend billions and billions of trillions
of dollars
of those dollars on defense. And
I don't think the defense budget is $1 trillion. It maybe approaching
trillion
that.
It's
trillion
close.
Is a lot of money.
Not to get into too bro sciencey here, but
Let's
like
take a look.
We're like, oh yeah, defense budget fucking out the wazoo. And meanwhile, you people at home, you get scraps, bitch.
Because they just
during a fucking pandemic.
They just passed one recently. $934 billion.
Yeah, so almost
October
$1 trillion.
1st. Almost $1 trillion. They're very close. So yeah. Basically, what is it?
Trump was like, we got to get there.
Four to six
tremendous.
Elon Musks. 4 to 6 Elon Musks, and you've got the U.S. And that's just the defense budget. That doesn't
just defense. That's
not even anything
one
else.
Bit. Yeah.
So people
Don't even talk about the debt.
So people are like, oh man, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they make a lot of money. It's like, that's nowhere near how much money government spends.
Dude. Yeah, we got deep pockets, but also,
I mean, we don't,
you
but
well,
but
our
that
deep pocket is China.
essentially. Although a lot of different things. Although we don't want to get too heavy into the economics of everything, I guess. Even the economics gets political, weirdly enough.
Dude, I mean, yeah. And, even though we try to keep things comedic and light, it just seems like all there is really to talk about, all that's happening, is something somehow tied to politics.
Well,
but,
see, that's the thing. In my opinion, everything is tied to
politics. So
politics.
let's talk about dicks and fart jokes.
And how that how that ties into the U.S. government.
Yo, for every $1 trillion spent in the defense budget, that's another
dick sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Math, bitch. Yeah. Anyway, how about you, Nathaniel?
Been doing
Your
pretty good.
Real name?
I've been in and out. Today I slept all day. I went to bed last night at 1 a.m. and I woke up today at 3:40 p.m. I feel like shit.
Wow. Wow. I saw your phone. Like, you know how on Messenger you could see, oh, so-and-so was active blah, blah, blah ago. Dude, it was like middle of the day and it was, Nathan was active 10 hours ago. And I'm like, boy.
You're just like, did he just like, is he
die?
gone?
Dude, one time it was like hit like in the 20s. And this was when I was still like living in Idaho. And I was like at a friend's. And I think I was just texting you to see if like, I don't know, like the door was locked or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I go and I'm like, well, he's not on his phone. But like, it's been 10 hours, whatever. We're going to, party a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pass out. Check the next day. Nothing. I'm like, that's weird. And I kind of like let the day continue.
Yeah.
And like I sent like a couple messages and like nothing. And I'm like, did he just like die?
I'm kind of curious. And I kind of want to test this out. If I'm inactive for 24 hours, will Facebook immediately send out a lost person to my local police department? Could you imagine if that's what it is? Oh my God, that'd be brilliant. I want to test that out now. So if you don't hear from me in the next 24 hours, you know what really is going on. Yeah, just as a fair warning.
Well, like, and then we just go over, we show up, and I'm just, all right, we'll see what happens. And, I get there, and everyone's home, and I settle in, and, of course, eventually I just hear, and then, meanwhile, sloppy, bedheaded kind of, this is when you had, because obviously, you cut your hair short, you've had it long. This was one of the phases that were long hair. So long hair Nate makes an appearance, and, there's a rat's nest up there, and he's, doesn't have a shirt on and in his pajamas. Just kind of just waltzing down the hallway.
It was either a sick Nathan or a hungover Nathan, one of the two. Probably a hungover Nathan.
Both.
Or both.
Yeah,
they tend to go hand in hand.
I remember one time. This is story time. We're gonna tell some stories because we are a comedy podcast. So remember when I think it may have been Ryder and Garber and whoever else, they were like, we're gonna go do this, and we kind of sat back and we're like, all right, we're just gonna be here. I can't remember what the circumstances were that like made it that way, but
I think it was Garber and Ryder going to a movie, and we're like, nah, it doesn't sound.
Oh yeah,
doesn't sound
it was
good.
like some shitty movie. Yeah,
we're just like, never heard of it. Don't really want to look into it. Go have fun, sort of a thing.
Yeah. It was Devil Wears Prada. Yeah, that one. No, just kidding. I think that one's pretty well liked. I think, but anyway,
it was some obscure thing.
Oh yeah. Wonder Woman 2.
It wasn't even out then.
No. I am curious what it was though, actually. Because you know
Garber
what's
wouldn't
funny?
know.
I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with Hazen, and
Well, I thought you saw it with us too.
well, yes, that
Okay.
that was Spider-Man Homecoming.
No,
No, no. Far From Home.
Far From Home.
So, dude, this is how many fucking Spider-Man there are. Spider people, spider individuals.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Into the Spider-Verse, it's funny because we went to, because there's a couple different theater options in Boise, and also, there's so many different showings. It's a new movie, and the odds of you running into someone that you live with just randomly are very slim. But lo and behold, I go and see it with Hazen and fucking Garber and Ryder and his brother. Ryder doesn't have a brother, but Garber's brother. Yeah, they're just right in front of us the entire time. I'm like, oh shit, I did not know you were there. But anyway, back on track. They went to see a movie. It sucked probably. We had more fun and got some drinks going, and we made this impromptu shooting game. So Nate has a metal BB gun, and we got just boxes and put them on these chairs, and like we were so drunk, and we got coupons that were expired.
Yeah, it was
expired
Burger King coupons.
Yeah,
I remember.
And we're like, oh, I don't know the game exactly,
It was
but like you
had to pick a coupon, and your goal was to actually shoot the coupon. And this is because BB guns are inherently very inaccurate. So if you could hit it, the other person had to take a drink.
Oh my god!
And you had three attempts to do it,
dude.
If you missed all three, you had to take 3 shots. That's what it was. And we got completely plastered off of it.
Dude, it got out of hands. Like, I remember going into it like, I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
I remember your second to last one, you got all 3 of them, like, back to back.
My literal last one, when we were, like, stopped, like in the middle, like, in the beginning, dude, I drank so much because I kept missing. I was just terrible. I was awful.
Yeah.
And, missing, taking shots, and then eventually as the games, I get drunker, I was hitting more, getting a little bit more accurate, building the confidence, and also I was drunk. Just I'm a little bit more laid back and a little bit more sure of myself when I'm drunk. Not when I drive, because I don't drive when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Ha! Take that, police who are listening to this conversation right now.
Also, it was a BB gun, not a real gun, so.
BB gun, yes. Reminder, BB gun, and that'd be hilarious. Though, just popping some serious fucking ammo.
Well, you can't admit to that. That's illegal.
I mean,
see,
we could do this. We could do funny pauses, and you could see the look on my face, and you could be like, is he being serious? And you could kind of tell what's going on. But anyway, so BB gun for the 5th time, and last one, and it's one of the kind of more obscure shots where it's like they're in these rows as a coupon is, and it was like a middle row, but like
on the end or something like that.
Yeah, something wild. And I hit it once, and I'm like, oh shit. Hit it twice, I'm like, oh fuck. 3rd time, I hit it, and I go bananas. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, he was fucking running around the fucking living room and in the kitchen. It was great. Oh yeah, that was the other rule. Is if you could risk. You could risk 3 shots, 3 like actual BB shots. If you got all 3 of them on your coupon, then the other person had to take 3 shots. So you could either hit it once and force the person to take 1, or risk for 3 and hit all 3.
Yeah,
it's actually a really, really fun drinking game, but we can't recommend it because probably legal reasons, something like that.
Nah, I don't care. I mean, I've heard worse things. I mean, do what you want. There's so many different drinking games out there, and if this one sounds like a good one, do it responsibly. Boom. See? Happy
There's gonna be one person that's like a gun there. It's like, you ever see all firearms? Like every gun it's loaded and it's a real firearm.
You need to treat this weapon with respect.
At that time, none of us had any actual firearms in the house, so it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
We could be irresponsible. And it's a fucking BB gun. Like, it's a little bit worse than airsoft, but, like, not much worse.
Yeah. I got the road up.
Plus we're college. We were, college. Well, I was a college kid age, doing stupid fraternity stuff anyway.
It was only last year. I mean, It's not like
Was
we're
it last year?
old-
No, I thought it was
old-
the year before.
No, last year.
I thought it was
It's not like we're old men.
Really?
Well,
I want to say it was the first year that we were there.
no, not the first year. It was the year. Now, I definitely trust my memory more than yours. But you're right. It was not
Last year we were in lockdown.
But it was the year before.
2019, not 2020. 2020 we were stuck indoors.
Oh yeah, yeah, that first part of the year, I kind of almost forget. Like, oh yeah, what did I do? Oh, I was just inside.
Yeah, it's fucking wild to think about. Like, what's even more crazy is that the first 2 months were the only months that we were actually allowed to like do things, and then March happened. And
Like
then
normal.
Yeah, we were normal for the first 2 months of 2020. I think a lot of people forget about that, and then the rest of 2020 was just complete shift. You know, with like the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah,
was
and they're
fucking
hoping,
insane.
quote unquote, hoping that fall, is
Well,
like when.
If you ask me in 2019, or you told me in 2019 that in 2020 that you would see a global pandemic, global economic shutdown, you would be forced to wear masks and stuff like that, I would have called you crazy, right? But then in March, that's exactly what happened. Fucking insane.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking insane. You would have told me that in 2019, I'd be like, there's no fucking way something like that happens next year. No way. And then boom, happens. It's fucking crazy.
I would just be repeating them like the whole year, basically.
Yeah, the whole year. If
Like,
they told me the
really?
whole year, yeah, that's the craziest part. It's
Who
gonna be like
died?
that for the
Oh,
entire
like
year.
everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole world? No.
Yeah, you mean like 2 million people almost? And Kobe Bryant? Wow.
Was that 2020?
Yeah, it was
No,
literally
February.
the first month.
Yeah. February.
First month.
January. Yeah.
Starting it hot. Yeah.
That's
We knew
right.
things were fucked. Remember, World War III.
That's
Kobe
right.
Bryant, into the side of a mountain, and then fucking
And then Rona
Corona, and then
from there
some
on
dude, or some people in a lab. Anyway,
or a bat.
it's Batman. It's Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is I have an announcement. Ben Affleck is patient zero for the. Yeah. Not Tom Hanks. It's Ben Affleck. I mean, it's actually not Tom Hanks, but that'd be funny if he actually was patient zero. For most people, he kind of is, just because he's like the first famous person that got it, and they're like thinking he's gonna die. And I was kind of like, oh my god, you guys are being ridiculous. Another thing that I saw that was ridiculous was Ian McKellen. As much as I love his work, Lord of the Rings, X-Men, he's that guy, right? Mm-hmm. So he takes the vaccine, and he's like, and again, it's all optics and all this stuff. He's just like, I felt absolutely splendid after the vaccine. Like, no, you take a shot, and you're not gonna you don't feel like dope after a vaccine. Like, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I've never felt good. You don't feel like you're gonna fucking like, dude, let's go fucking work out, bro. Let's go fucking lift some weights, bro.
Let's go fucking parachuting, dude.
Let's go make X-Men 3, bro. The Last Stand, bro. Jean dies. Jeez.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Every single time that I've gotten like in the arm shot, it's always like swollen up and it hurts, and I can like barely like move my arm. I think I think that was a tetanus shot that I had. And
again, it's just I thought it was funny because a lot of people might just be like, I feel like the same basically. But there's definitely no way you feel like good. You don't feel like pumped. You're not like, let's go, unless you took steroids. No.
It's actually to be expected that once you take a vaccine that you actually feel like shit for a couple of days because it's because it's the way the vaccine works. And if you don't, then that's the better approach. Is if you don't feel anything, then you're good. But you expect to feel like shit for a little bit. That's the expectation.
Well, here's my current pickle that I'm in. So, announcement to any friends that are listening that live in Idaho. I am going to be visiting from the 11th of next month. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's a police car. Whoop, whoop. and from the 11th to the 19th. So some may say that that's a hot minute. So I'll be here, well, there, and yeah, so I'll be visiting. So if you're listening and you want to hit me up, totally message me on all the social medias. You know my number, some of you, and yeah, that's what we doing, baby.
Good shit. Good shit.
Anyway, so the pickle though is, you know, like, do I get vaccinated before I do so? Because at the moment, it's not required.
Right.
It's definitely one of those things that I'm like, I don't want to jump and just get a vaccine just for the sake of getting one, but I'm going to be traveling, and like it's good to just get it out of the way. So there are definitely some positives. But
yeah,
tinfoil hat comes on, and I'm like, it just came out. Like, it just came out. Even the flu vaccine that's been, you know, done for so long and refined, like, it still, like, is not exactly on the money all the time.
Right.
So I'm like, it's one of those things where it's just kind of, it's like I'm probably, and also by the time it's actually taken its effect, because there's 2 doses from the, well, there's multiple different vaccines, but like, I guess the one that I was reading into, there's multiple doses, and I think that's the case from like all of them. But you know, again, bro science talking. Wait, no, hang on. Since we're on video, I can do this. Bro
science Gilton.
Bro science Gilton. And I'm like, no, he's taking over, and I'm just like, no, you can't have him. Anyway, so again, gets it out of the way, but also it's just like, well.
I think it depends on what happens.
Have a bad reaction, because like my last vaccinations were when I was like really little.
Yeah.
Like you know, chicken pox and all that shit. And I don't get sick. I literally never get sick. Like I never get like the flu. I don't think I ever got the flu when we were living in a house. I definitely haven't gotten the flu this year. And well, you know, 2020, and like I can't remember the last time I like legit just got the flu. It may have been 8th grade. I got strep throat in like 8th grade.
I think I got a serious cold in 2019. I got a bad cold in 2019. I remember that.
Yeah.
That one put me out for like a week.
Yeah, like I was hungover plenty of times and threw up because of those reasons.
Oh yeah, that too. That for me. That was like that was normal.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say like all the time, but definitely like common enough where I'm like,
there's definitely a difference between like a hangover and like actually like feeling sick, you know, because like with a hangover you feel it in your stomach, but with a cold you feel it everywhere.
Dude, 2016 I believe, I remember this now. Dude, I feel like such a fucking idiot, but like we made these cookies and I'm the only one that ate them, and the reason is actually no, I think my friend Tony had one, and he was like, yeah, this is kind of fishy. But we didn't know how to make cookies, and we wanted to make some, and we weren't even high. We were totally sober. And we're making cookies, and we're, like, we washed the dishes, like, sort of. Oh, man. No, we did. Got them out of the dishwasher, but, like, we get everything going. Like, we start totally fresh. But I think there was 2 of, like, the mixer spoon thingies.
Oh, okay.
One of them was used for something else, and it was used, and then the other was, you know, clean, and, like, and I was not paying attention. Like, I kind of just, of course, probably grabbed this dirty one, and I'm like, you know, yeah, dude. Yeah, so I fucking eat those cookies, baby. And I got sick as fuck. Only for a day. Like, I literally, I didn't even throw up. I didn't even have any, like, runny tums. But I definitely
felt
like
bad.
The stomach, like the way your stomach feels. Like there's literally, like, a bug in there.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, and your life force is being sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, the next day, I was fine. Yeah.
No, but that's exactly what it feels like to have a stomach flu or just hangover. But when you have like a cold or a flu, it's like full body, just constant pain and agonization.
I haven't had that in so long. I can't even remember.
It sucks, man. It really fucking sucks. You're lucky.
Like, I definitely been, like, pretty debilitated after hangover with multiple different substances. And, like, it definitely, you definitely feel weak and definitely feel pretty rough. And also your head, you're like, it feels like it's still like rattling after a day or so. But nothing like, I haven't like randomly gotten sick and like and I honestly want to take an antibodies test because I'm just curious if I have gotten it but like didn't show any symptoms, because that is like about 40 to 50% of people.
Right.
But yeah, I am nervous of the day that I do potentially get it and I'm like eating something and I notice that I don't taste it, because that's the immediate sign that I'm like, oh fuck, I got the Rona.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. I'm always questioning it, because for me, I have really bad allergies, right? And they're like constant year round. So it'll come to points where like my nose will get like really stuffy and I can't smell or taste stuff as good as I normally can. And that's one of the leading symptoms is, well, if you can't smell or taste, then you probably haven't. It's like, well, that's literally me and my allergies. Yeah,
like, dude, you're getting fucking teased all the time.
Yeah, basically. And I think I just have a weak immune system because I work all the fucking time and I barely sleep.
Well, barely sleep. Nutrition's probably not top notch, and in the gym, there's not a lot of time for it. So it's just kind of like,
I just can't. My body just is already weak, and allergies makes it even more complicated, because literally I get allergies to the point where it feels like I'm sick. Like I will throw up from allergies. Like it's that bad, especially in the springtime.
Get that pollen away from me. No,
basically, in the springtime it gets really bad if I'm not on my meds. It's really fucking bad. So last year was such a struggle, because it's like, well, do you have Rona? I'm like, probably not. It's probably just allergies, and then I'll like feel better, the next day after taking meds. And I'm like, yeah, it was allergies. What the fuck? But I know what you mean about the whole vaccination thing. I would say just like watch the legalities and watch the travel restrictions for the next month. And if they decide to impose something in February, then you'll have to get the vaccine. But
it's like the 11th, so it's like it feels like, even though it's like a full month basically away, it's still like it's basically right around the corner. And like just in my mind,
they can pass it like that. I mean, it'll be pretty quick if they do end up passing restrictions.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like that's what would be fucked, because like then, like, I'll have like work, and I work like literally a 9 to 5, and it's just kind of like
then just like toss it on your schedule like that. No, well, and that's that's the one thing that kind of irritates me, is that looking at diving a little bit into the politics of thing, watching like the whole blue wave come through the U.S. Policy changes can happen a lot faster than they have in the past. So you just kind of have to be like on top of it. Just kind of irritating, because legal things can change almost in like weeks to months.
Oh, well, like, I mean, I know, like, I do see, like, headlines of, like, oh, they're working on this and they're writing this up. Mm-hmm. So, like, there is definitely, like, a warning system in a way of, like, all right, they're working it in. Yeah. And it's not like a law just changed. So, fortunately, there's definitely some, like, I think, I really don't. I'd rather just have had Rona by this point, and then I could basically just be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna, dude. Nothing's gonna happen to me, and I know that's like, you fucking cocky son of a bitch. It's like based on just track record, like it's not gonna probably treat me any different than any other virus I've ever had, which is extremely little, like just due to my immune system.
I kind of disagree with this, because the virus works different than most other viruses, than like the cold or the flu, because this one actually attacks your lungs in a way. So even if you're young, it can still possibly, and there's no verification on this because we haven't seen it, the long-term effects, because it hasn't been around for very long, is that it has the potential to scar you for life later down the road with your respiratory system. That's the biggest fear with it, is because it attacks your body differently than any other virus. Or at least than other viruses that we've seen. That's why it's a SARS virus, I think.
Yeah.
Similar to the SARS.
Again, I'm not worried. I mean, Like the worst. That's again. I go with number. I just go with odds. Like I don't really. If I'm only 10 to 15 or whatever percent, likely to get the worst part of a reaction, I'll take those chances. Like now it doesn't. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I go out of my way irresponsibly to put myself out there. It's just like I take precautions. I wear a mask. I wash my hands. I fucking wash my dirty butt.
A lot of people don't do that.
Exactly, dude.
A lot of people don't fucking wash their hands. Some of y'all are fucking nasty.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Now, one thing I can't stop doing though is pushing up my glasses and like fucking touching my face.
No, literally the amount of what the whole like mask sort of mandate thing is. Whenever I went to the store, I sort of became more self-conscious about how often I touch my face all the time, because I'm always doing this with my nose. You can't see it, but the people can. I'll always like rub the bottom of my nose because like the end of my nose gets itchy, so I'll like rub the bottom of it. Or like I have, whiskers on my face or hair on my face, so I'll always be like touching that. Especially when I had my beard grown out a little bit more, I was always playing with my beard to see how often you touch your face. Really surprising.
Yeah, especially when you have to when you're a type of person that has to constantly move or fidget or whatever.
Especially.
Dude, and like when you're tired and you do like the face rub kind of thing. Dude,
yeah.
I do that a lot. And like I'll literally have my hands
too.
Dude, my hands are like literally inside my face. They're like just like ugh, and it's like the worst.
People
if you show somebody that and they're like, fucking burn that motherfucker.
We as humans, we just molest our face more than any other body part.
I just heard it. I can't see you, but I definitely like heard like
the face. Yeah. No, we molest our face, I would say, more than any other body part on ourselves, honestly.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, honestly.
No, I mean, well, because it's so like, I mean,
shit's always happening up here, or it's like the first thing that you touch because it's so close to and easy to reach, Yeah. And here's a good one. Most people's, if you're playing poker, most people's like tells on when they're lying, there's actually usually some sort of motion on their face.
Oh yeah,
so they touch something on their face. Most of the time, that's how you will be able to tell as soon as they touch something on it's always on the face. It's either earrings that they're playing with, or like their ears, or their nose, their eyes.
Yeah, it's like an involuntary way to like relax your face, or like make it not do what you like are mentally, because you're probably thinking, shit, there's something going on my face. Let me just touch it and do something with it to like make it not do that.
Yeah.
But that still is just an indicator.
Yeah, it's just natural.
And then if you're overcompensating, you're just like.
Then you become like really stiff. Yeah.
Then you're like it's like so obvious. So it's just kind of like there's almost no way to like basically like you could like.
It takes years of practice to be able to not touch your face.
There's actually a career for it with
what
with the whole no facial expression when you're lying.
Yeah.
It's called politics. Whoa! Full circle, baby. Let's go.
All right, that was a good one. I like that. That was actually pretty fucking good. You're not wrong, though.
When you're like, years of practice, and I'm like, I fucking got this one.
That's a good one. Fuck.
Dude, I got some bangers sometimes.
I mean, the one thing that I took away from what's his name? We watched his fucking special.
Bill Burr?
No, not Bill Burr.
Burr. Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle. One thing that always stuck with me from him was that people you can't tell people the truth unless it has a punchline to it. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Otherwise it turns into a debate and it turns into an argument,
Yeah, it turns weird and people get all fucking butthurt and it's not a fun time.
Well, even with jokes, but like it's easier to make points with a joke than it is to make points about rather than trying to do it in like a debate fashion, People respond to it a lot better. For sure.
By the way, guys, if you're watching and you see me kind of like moving around, we haven't quite, or not we, but I don't really quite have a desk situation that's like conducive for kind of like where you can sit down and you got like an operation. It's more like a desk where I put my computer and I like just grind away on whatever I'm doing. But it's like outside of that, it's not really.
You should get one of those like standing desks, or one of those that like go up and down, so you can do both.
Well, like, and also like the chair I have is a very basic like folding chair. So I'm currently standing and I'm like in front of my kitchen here, and so if you guys are watching, I'm just kind of like this constantly. It's because I'm like literally like doing like a
half squat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like. Wait, hang on, a little button like. Oh, almost fell.
You're like a fucking car on airbags.
Wait. Yeah, just like, hang on. Wait, hang on. Anyway, I'm getting too much enjoyment out of this. Yeah. Oh, something that Susie had kind of asked me, like just as more like a fun game kind of situation. And it's like, oh, I'll send me a picture of, dream house, car, like just stuff. And yeah, when we got into the car section, I was like, oh shit. It all comes down to this. My last 2 weeks of being obsessed with cars, finally, the climactic ending here of me literally just picking the one, in terms of cars, and yeah, because stuff like that is fun when you're chatting with someone. It's like, oh, like if money is not an object, or like you don't like.
It's good conversation starters.
For sure, like, and I'm gonna pull up the model exactly. Because this car is stupid expensive and also stupid rare. Like it's, let's see. And I think you may know exactly what it is, but let's see.
I mean, if you probably sent me a picture, I could probably point it out, or I could tell you.
Well, I know what it is. I just want to get the name right. Sorry, guys. Please hold.
Is it that Koenigsegg thing?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, the Koenigsegg.
It was one of them.
The CCX.
Yep. Yeah, one of them. It's black wheels, and yeah. So for those of you, just the blackest car. You can't even see it in nighttime.
So that's the best description we could give you. It's a black car. It's got black wheels. It's murdered out.
Oh yeah.
Put it in your head.
Well,
most people probably think of a Cadillac, actually.
So it is a supercar, and
it's actually a hypercar.
Hypercar? It's not a supercar?
No, because
is hyper like the next thing?
Hypercar's the next step up above supercars. I think a supercar is any car that goes up to 200, and then a hypercar is anything that goes above 200 miles per hour. Miles per hour, not kilometers. Yeah.
Gotcha. So Koenigsegg is hypercar, and basically, I mean, consistently, it's basically the fastest car in the world, right? I mean, obviously, you have like Formula One vehicles that are like made for racing and all that stuff, so I think they probably hit a higher top speed. But in terms of like cars that you like drive around,
street legal
cars, one. Yeah, street legal, barely.
The new Koenigsegg is the fastest street legal car.
Should be, yeah, should be.
It used to be the Bugatti Chiron, I think, actually, for a little while.
Yeah, and all those cars like have a very similar long body. I mean, for obvious reasons, because the engines in them are fucking like V12s and shit. Like, it's ridiculous.
The Chiron Super Sport still got it, at least what this says, at 304 miles per hour.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Ooh, this one looks like Koenigsegg's got an e-motor on some of them. Interesting.
There's some very impressive super or hyper EVs. Very impressive.
And really, Elon Musk had pointed out one of the most accurate things about this whole thing is just the battery technology is just lacking in terms of like how far they could push those cars, and from an electric standpoint, like they can get really fast, but they drain the battery really hard, and like there's
yeah.
Like it's there's kind of still a developing kind of it's always fascinating when you have someone so smart that they of course are working to, you know, like they're going forward and, you know, thinking big picture, but there's like certain realizations where like, fuck man, we just don't have the technology for what I like need to do, like what I like envision. Like,
Yeah.
very Steve Jobs, even though he wasn't like, you know, he was more of business and kind of like marketing. Like he was kind of like not, you know, the most technical of the you know, of his little garage squad. He was a similar thing of, he knows what he wants and he like has a vision for it, but he's like, ah, fuck man, just the technology we have, like it's not really quite possible. Like he would get told that all the time by all his engineers and shit. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, there's and the funny thing is technology is always progressing, right? And
right.
I think we're very close to having much better battery technology for electric vehicles. There's some new battery technology on the horizon that have been like that are like on the on the DL right now. But supposedly Tesla and BMW, Mercedes, a lot of the higher end companies have figures, or they've gotten it from a different company that's sort of figured it out and now they're just working on making it mass produced. Very interesting stuff. So maybe we'll see a much more, I mean, to be fair, electric vehicles like Teslas have come a long way. Like I looked up the pricing on some Teslas, and some of them are actually reasonably priced now. Like some of them are priced less than a fucking Toyota Corolla. Like a brand new one. It's fucking crazy. Now they're definitely not high quality, but they're there.
Right, like they exist.
They exist.
Like you could definitely look like a hyper douche with, you know,
you can
an old beat up Tesla.
You can no, not with an old one, a brand new one.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah, you can get a brand new, I think it was a brand new Tesla. Is it a Model 3? Model 3 or something like that for like 35 grand.
Ooh, nice. That's pretty, you know, that's
which is
definitely
fucking insane to think about for an electric vehicle. Well, especially for Tesla, because like not like, what was it, 2 years ago? You couldn't get one for underneath $70K.
Oh yeah, they were like super, you know,
that's
super duper fancy.
Yeah, but that was because they were, you know, niche, and now they're becoming more popular, and so the pricing is starting to come down on them because they're making so many of them now. It's fucking insane. It's really fucking crazy. Like I was looking at the pricing, and it's like, damn, you could get a fucking Tesla for as much as a normal car. What the fuck is this? Obviously, I'd rather have the normal car because for me, it's just a range thing with those EVs.
Should I email the info@koenigsegg.com email and be like, hey, can I get one of these cars?
No. I mean,
what's going to happen? They'll probably
write you. They'll probably just write you a quote or something, or they'll probably like require. They would probably like ask for like bank statements and stuff like that to make sure that you can purchase the car before they go any further with you.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and also, so let's do this. Let's play a little bit of just a fun hypothetical. So let's do 3. Like you get 3 cars you could pick, and you just have them. Like you just got them. So I'll let you go first.
My top 3 cars that I would have.
Yeah, just. It could be anything for any reason. Totally. Money is no issue.
Money is no issue. I would have my Toyota project, my Toyota Celica project. I'd have my Audi project, and then my third car would probably be an Aston Martin DB. I think it's a DBS. I'll look it up. I want it would be an Aston Martin though, for sure. I think it's a DBS. Yeah, the DBS. Fucking nice car. That's a nice looking car. And I would get it in a nice electric blue.
Nice.
Black wheels. Carbon fiber.
Dude, something about blue cars, man. Like blue and black on cars.
Blue and black
to me,
is such a
looks
good
fucking great
combo. Such
like,
a great combo.
Man, what I would do if my Saab were of that same blue color with black wheels, ooh, man.
Yeah. All right, your top 3.
All right, top 3. Okay, gotta get. Let's see. And this definitely has fluctuated, just because of all the car stuff I've been like really getting into over the last almost month now. Just kind of
right.
It all started one September evening watching Fast and the Furious, starring Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. And I was like Dude, I was like, I'm just obsessed with like all these like '90s Japanese cars. It's like, dude, whoa, the fucking Skyline, dude. Does anyone in Texas have a fucking Skyline? Fun fact: there's a fair amount, but it's funny just because there was more. So there's a pretty decent amount of Skylines here in this Texas area, but there's like, dude, there's not a lot of Mitsubishi cars, man. There was more Mitsubishi cars when I was looking around in Boise and like the Northwest.
Oh yeah, Mitsubishi like Evos are very popular in the Boise area. Very popular. There is like one. I think there's one R32 GTR in Boise. One or two of them that people are like tossing around like a used hooker. I'm not kidding, dude. That's what these people do. That's what these people do, man. They import these cars and then they toss them around. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, wild. Okay, so... fuck. Okay, so obviously, number one... Now, as far as which particular Koenigsegg, I don't fucking know. I actually went back to the site and I'm like, fuck. Which one?
CCX
probably
is a death trap if you want something that'll terrify you. The Ajira is probably something safer.
Yeah.
I would have the CCX, though, because I want that death trap. Just that knowledge that it could kill you at any point in time if it wanted to. It'd be great.
CCX. Let's see.
The original CCX, not the updated one. Because the updated one has a spoiler, and the original one didn't. And that's why it was so unstable. It was horrible to drive at high speeds.
Oh, yeah, this does not have a spoiler. Yeah, you're right.
The original CCX does not have a spoiler. And so at high speeds, it becomes very unstable, which is part of the fun, probably.
Dude. Yeah, let's get that one. Like we're going shopping. So Koenigsegg of multiple different... I mean, there's the Agera R, and then there's the 5. And anyway. Oh, wait, fuck the Agera. Ooh, anyway. This Agera R is pretty hot. Okay, and car number 2 would be, of course, yes, it's Brian O'Connor's Nissan Skyline. It is a, what year is that one? R34?
91. That's my guess.
No, I mean, well, it's the only one that'd be legal here. But like they do this thing in the movies where they like brought in like a newer one, even though it definitely wouldn't be legal here. And that's what I was telling you the other day. It's like, dude, they had this whole sequence when you like picks up this. It's a 2002 Nissan Skyline, R34. So there's that. It's car number 2, and then just for more like. Just purely aesthetics. I don't know what it is about this car. And it's funny because it's a car you can easily get like almost anywhere and flip it and make it look like this particular car. It is the Volkswagen Jetta from the first Fast and Furious. So I know all these cars are basically from Fast and Furious in some way or the other. They don't really show any of them, the Koenigsegg in them, but anyway. So the white...
That's just cool.
Dude, it's just fucking looks dope. The fucking little skirts, fucking bumper on the front and on the back, like just top to bottom. It's just like a fun little car. Like it's like a little toy car basically. Like it's obviously people could throw all these, crazy specs from these other cars at me, but I'm like, nah, dude. This Jetta looks dope. It's a 1995. Yeah, 1995 Jetta. White. And I know I've shown it multiple times because that's how whipped I am by it. You get your little race car chairs in it, do a little bit of roll cage action.
You do the whole 9 yards, the whole rice.
Dude, yeah, exactly.
Whole rice it out.
Dude, rice it out, baby.
Fucking great.
Idaho man stormed Capitol. Oh, ooh.
What?
Idaho man who stormed Capitol jumped onto U.S. Senate floor and is in custody in Boise. That's news.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember a lot of people were sharing the identity of that person all over Facebook.
Dude, over the next week and more weeks to follow, there's going to be lots of arrests, and there have been a lot of arrests already, especially when you go to Twitter. Dude, it's... Yeah, lock them up, dude. Like, all of them. All of them. I mean, because obviously what they did is illegal. But there just should be just such like a... like, the hammer needs to be fucking dropped at some point. Now, we're not talking death, obviously, because they didn't kill anyone in there. But you lock them away and you throw away the key. Like, sorry, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the maximum sentence that some of these people are facing are I think anywhere between 25 to 50, somewhere around there. If I remember
old white
correctly.
people, so they're gonna be dead by the time they're sentenced.
God damn.
It's just like anyway. That's all I got to say about it.
It's just a stupid thing to do, and I think 100% these people need to be put into custody.
It's not a good idea.
Straight
I
up.
really wish I had Susie around to like figure out how do you say that in Spanish. Like, that's just not a good idea, but like in Spanish. I mean, as far as reasons why I would say it in Spanish, there's no particular reason, but there's a lot of like sayings or like phrases that I'll think of, and I'm like, what does that mean in Spanish? And she'll like throw it back at me, and I'm like, whoa, nice. Did you ever see Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I think.
Well, there's like a part in the beginning where he's talking and he's kind of not making a whole lot of sense, and she's just like, "Wow, I don't know what you're saying, but I like the way you say it." That's me in Spanish words, especially when it's coming from a hot Latina.
That's what happens with a lot of people that are learning Spanish, and they like go to a different country. But then again, a lot of the like native speakers will know what the newbies are saying. It's not completely incoherent. But
I mean, there's an accent with it, and it's like anything else. It's just funny to think like, how someone who doesn't speak English, they speak English, and you're like, they got an accent. It's like it's totally the same thing with other languages.
Yeah,
and
it really
funny how you don't think about it because you're just saying the words, and it's funny because like with other languages, the only language that I know that's not English that I know how would you word this? I can't even say it in my own language. The foreign language that I know the most is German. There we go.
Okay.
I don't know why I couldn't fucking string together that sentence. I was kind of like trying to like word it, and I'm like, oh man. I had like little math equations floating around.
How do I try to sound myself as educated as possible?
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of languages, I know for the most, and with Spanish actually, I could read Spanish pretty well. Now, when people are like saying it and like talking in fluent conversation, it's sometimes pretty hard to keep up. But I've gotten to a point where I've heard it so much, especially at work and just here in Texas. There's a lot of people that will only speak Spanish, and then of course hearing my girlfriend speak Spanish a lot. So like just over time, I've grown to like know like this like hear a word like okay they're talking about this or this is the thing. Now reading it, I definitely am much better at reading it because like the words you could like see it spelled out and you're like well that's what this means and
I actually had a very good conversation about this with my sister and my grandma. My grandma because she tried to learn Spanish, and my sister who actually teaches she teaches English, but the concepts apply to learning any other language. And she was the one that had the best insight. And so when it comes to learning a different language, reading it and like understanding the grammar and writing is actually the easiest part. It's speaking it that's the most difficult. And the reason why is because when you're trying to speak it, you're trying to connect your brain and your mouth, what's happening between the two. But you're trying to do it from the perspective with your eyes that you normally would with reading a piece of paper. So it's the trifecta of horribleness that you're trying to put together at the same time as an adult. Now kids do this really easily, which is why they pick up language so super easily. They don't for whatever reason the wires don't get crossed with them. But as an adult, that's exactly what the problem is.
That we just know like it's just we're kind of set, not like set, but like kids are much more malleable in that way.
They are, and they don't
like because they don't have any writing skills. Like they don't have a lot of reading skills. So like
they don't have anything else to mix it up with, and so it makes it easier for them to do it. But that's the number one problem with us is that we like to, as adults, we like to see the words and we like to see how it, like the mechanics work, and then we try to do that in our head while trying to speak it as well. It just adds different layers of complexity to it, and that's why it's so hard to learn a language.
Yeah.
Any other
Like, I have
language.
pretty good enunciation. It's just like, yeah, like I'd say like I have pretty decent enunciation with. Now it's what's fascinating is a lot of enunciations in German and how different they can be from Spanish. It's pretty interesting how you just got to switch it up completely.
I've always been
Yeah.
I've always been like I've always been very surprised that it's a Latin-based language. German is. All these like Western languages are Latin-based languages, so learning them is nowhere near as hard of a learning curve as it is like if you're trying to learn a Latin-based language and then like a different language like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, because those ones have a different underlying fundamental mechanic layout
Yeah.
than Latin-based languages. Like it's easier for someone who's learning who knows Spanish to learn French than it is to learn something like Chinese or Japanese. It's fucking wild to me.
The main language, the language that I want to learn, I wouldn't say the most, but it's on the bucket list of languages to know how to speak, especially if you're out and about traveling, is Japanese, because I watch the animes.
I actually really want to learn Russian. I just think the writing looks really interesting and cool. Oh, Arabic would be cool too. I just like the way Arabic writing looks. It looks really good on like paper. The calligraphy
Like,
of it.
The coolest thing that to me is like, and it all I feel like is just kind of all the stuff we were showing as like in like spy movies and stuff. But like when you're just a random person and you have the ability to go around and like speak other languages like just out and about, but it's very unassuming. To me, I'm like, oh shit, that guy's fucking wild. Like if some guy, looks like me, a pasty boy, just shows up to the market but starts speaking like Arabic, it's just like, whoa, this guy has been around. He's toppled governments.
I just think it's very good, like, to be well-rounded in different languages, because then it makes traveling a much better experience. Like, it's not like it's still okay to travel and know one language, but it's definitely more fulfilling if you can learn a little bit of the native language and try to interact with the actual local people. I think it makes traveling way nicer. Like when I went to Spain with my mom, I tried to pick up as much Spanish as possible beforehand, and it made so that way we were able to go out to like outside of the cities, away from all the touristy people, and like talk to like the locals. Oh, it was great.
The natives.
Not the natives, but you know what I mean. The locals.
I know.
The locals.
I was like, ooh, you almost said it. He's like, yo, those.
In a way, they are also the natives, but that's like that gets politically twisted in ways.
Yeah.
Because like what is a native person and what is the local person? Those definitions get skewed depending on
Nate,
location.
we're totally native, right? No.
There's a good portion of people that will completely disagree with that statement.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's very fascinating though how those two words sort of change depending on which country you put it in.
Yeah.
But
sure.
That's a topic for a different podcast.
Speaking of which, we're a little over an hour, so I think we're making some good time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm also really fucking hungry. I basically haven't eaten.
I've got to get
all day.
ready for work.
So yeah. Guys, thank you for tuning in to the first edition. Again, we are recording on a nice and cold Tuesday, so by the time it comes out, it'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday, because I don't know, Nate, what do you think about the video? Such a part of it might take a while.
Probably up tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, so
I
check
got
out
good internet here. I've got
that's true.
I've got gigabit up and down.
That's true.
It's fucking nice.
Nice. Cool. Well, in that case, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. It's just the Snooze Cast. I'll go ahead and post the video, post the links, and share that. Also, don't forget, if you're audio only and you listen on your car rides or whatever it may be, check us out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Subscribe and hit any of the like buttons that are available, or give us a good review. It just really helps us out in the algorithm of things and puts the channel out there. So when you can, give us a positive review and give some comments. And then also, if you have any friends that like to listen to just random kind of, lighthearted, funny podcasts where we just BS and, kind of just shoot the shit, and you want to feel a part of the conversation, recommend it, I guess. But yeah, thank you for tuning in to this first edition, season 3, baby. Any final thoughts from you, Nate?
I look forward to a good season. We'll see how this video layout sort of progresses. I'm very interested to see how things go.
Also, I don't have to remember my social media handles because they're going to be right here or right there. No, I'm just
or
kidding.
down there. You never know. It depends on where I put them. Maybe I'll put them on the side just to fuck with you.
Exactly. Well, that's why I pointed at all directions, because they could be right there, or right there, or right there, or right there.
Watch me put it directly.
I can't miss. Dude, I'd be so fucking mad. I'm just like talking, and it's just like this.
It's just like right over your eyes the whole time.
Man, would not be amused. But anyway, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning into today's podcast. This is the Snooze Cast.
We out. Jinx again. You owe me another soda.